Window, this is what comes up when you double click on the Avid icon. All of these projects are all the things that have been done on this computer this trimester, or actually all year for that matter. Okay, the one that we've got is called Continuity Video 1 Section 5. If you make a new project, make sure that you make it in shared. To make a new project, we hit new project, type in the name of it, and then you would hit OK. 30i NTSC, that usually defaults. 16.9, that's what you want. So we're going to hit cancel on that. The one that we want is section 5. We're going to hit OK. You never have to mess with any of this stuff up here. mtouchy, that's just your profile. So don't change any of that. So we'll hit OK. And then we'll review this stuff right here. This is our project window where all of our bins are stored. Talk about bins here in a second. This is called our, anybody remember from yesterday? Source window. Very good. Source. Yeah. Source window. Source. If you want to take a picture of this layout, I encourage that. This is called the record window. The record window, and then this is called the timeline. The timeline and the record window coincide with each other. So they are one unit together. What you do down here on the timeline also happens here on the record window. One window that's missing on the layout right here is called the super bin. Super bin. To open up the super bin, we have to double click on one of our bins here to open it. So if I double click one of these black little folders, it's going to open up our super bin. Our super bin is where we have all of our clips stored. Are you leaving? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Just watch the YouTube post. The super bin is where all the clips are stored, your graphics, sequences. When you make a new sequence like we made yesterday, it always saves it as untitled sequence, untitled sequence 01. You can rename that just like we started renaming some of these. If you click on the words here and type in, let's say, master sequence. All right, master sequence. The difference between these two different types of pictures, if you look at right here, this is an icon for the sequence, and then this is an icon for an actual film clip. So there is a little bit of a difference between the two. Just make sure that you're aware of that. We can rename these. In order to load these clips, you have to actually double click on the actual clip itself. I forgot we did this low angle shot. So I'm going to name this. If I want to rename this 00077, click on the numbers and type in low angle shot. If I wanted 76 renamed, don't double click on the numbers, double click on the icon. And this is inside the room, inside of room. Okay, so we can name these other ones. When you bring in your footage, let's say you get done filming one of your projects, please do that. That's going to save you so much more time. And every time that you take a new shot, whether it's a shot of a hallway or if it's a tight shot of somebody reacting to something or someone saying a line or whatever, every time you hit that record button and then they deliver their line, always hit that pause button. Always save them as their own shot, because if you have one long shot, let's say they went in and out of this room 10 different times, okay? You don't know which is the right one. And usually if there's a good take, you can say, after this one, good take. And that's going to save your editing a lot of time, okay? So a lot of different things you can do inside of your super bin to make life easier for you and your group. We made two other bins up here, one for graphics, one for music. If you had like a graphic intense project, I would definitely make a new bin called graphics. To make a new bin, you just click on this button called new bin, and then that pops up, and you can name it whatever you want. We can name it B-roll shots. So then all of your B-roll shots can go into that one. And if you close that bin, then it changes to a black folder. If you double click it and open it, it changes to white. So you know that that one is open. Graphics is shut. If we double click it, now it's white. Now here's your graphics folder. Same thing with music. This one's blackened. Double click it. There's your music folder. Now you can put all your music into that. So to close these little bins, you push the red X, red X, red X. Okay. So the only one that we have stuff in is this continuity one. Questions?
How do you put like videos in there?
Into a different bin?
Yeah.
Pretty easy. Let's say we have a music file. Let's say 0073 is a music file. You just have that one open, and then you click and you drag it, and now it's in there.
Yeah, but how do you get it into the super bin? Like how do you actually get it into the
Yeah. We haven't talked about that yet. If we had a camera connected, we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. You'll go into, on all the computers, there's little white pieces of paper, and those are the directions on how to go from the camera into the computer. So it's a couple different steps, also loaded onto Schoology, but every single computer has those directions on how to import it. So file, import, and then I'll show you the rest tomorrow how to do that. That was a good question. Yeah, they don't just magically appear. That would be nice. Just like point the camera to the computer and boom, they're in. Bam, that would be awesome. Okay, any other questions on this layout so far?
No.
Okay, let's pull up our sequence that we worked on yesterday. If we double click this master sequence right here, this little icon, everything that we did yesterday is going to load into our timeline. This is our record window. Everything that we do down on the timeline is also going to be affected up here. Every single time that there's a yellow or brown block, that's a new piece of video. Low angle shot, that's a new piece of video. Actors, new video. 00074, new piece, new piece, new piece. The blue lines right here, this is your audio tracks. Audio 1 and audio 2. Actors walking forward, that's this shot right here. That's just them walking down the hall. And then we also did, yesterday we recorded their sound and we dropped that in on track 3 and 4. Okay, I'm gonna mute those for right now though. This little M here, if I mute those, you won't be able to hear the talking. Okay, so that's what we did yesterday. We laid that in. And then, remember, if you remember, let's see, audio voiceover. I'm looking for the garbage cans. Where's the garbage cans?
73.
Thank you. Then we recorded this shot, if you remember this.
Dude, I cannot believe how much snow we're going to be getting.
I know, it's just like, come on, give me nice weather.
I mean, like,
50 degrees.
it's spring already. Like spring in Minnesota.
So we recorded these two talking, back to back, back and forth. And you know what we could do? We could start that audio over here a little bit. I don't want their audio is coming in too late. Okay, I want to.
Dude, I cannot believe.
I want to hear it before I see them. I want to hear it. So I'm going to pull this over and pull this over. The danger in doing it that way, sometimes they don't match up. You know, I'll show you here really quick. If they get offset a little bit, it's kind of a mess. So here, there's a little echo sound here.
Dude, I cannot believe how much snow we're going to be getting.
I know, it's like, come on, give me nice weather.
I mean, like, it's spring already. Like spring in
So you got to be careful. If you're going to move tracks like that, you have to be very, very careful that you get them in the right spot. I think I still missed it.
Dude, I cannot believe how much snow we're going to be getting.
I know, it's just like, come on, give me nice weather.
I mean, like,
50 degrees.
it's spring already. Like spring in Minnesota.
Yeah, build a snowman.
Oh yeah, I want to build a snowman.
Snowmans are nice.
Yeah, have you seen that movie yet, Frozen?
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Okay, so as they get closer, you're going to want to find a little spot here to cut out, because when you can see their mouth and they're not talking, then it's a little awkward.
I want to build a snowman.
There we go.
Snowmans are nice.
All right, so we are going to stop their conversation right there. I'm going to put a mark in.
Yeah, have you seen that movie yet?
So then they start talking about the movie Frozen. Okay, so I put a mark in where I want the audio to stop. And I want to lift out audio track 3 and 4, because this keeps going all the way down to here. If I put a mark out right there, I have a mark out, I have a mark in. I've just selected this little audio piece. Now, there's two different tools that we can use to get rid of this little track. We can either hit extract or we can hit lift. Extract will pull your footage back together. It will basically close your gaps. And lift, what lift will do is it will just create an entire blank space in that little section. So let me hit lift. That little section's gone. Now their voiceover will stop at that point.
Oh yeah, I want to build a snowman.
Snowman's are nice.
Okay, so that works a little bit. We have a couple more shots to put in. They walk in, get the door, open the door. Let's see, was there one more? Which one did we not? Oh, we didn't use the low angle one. So as they shut that door, we're going to cue up this next shot here. So sometimes it's easier to, I do a lot of editing on like when things end or when they start. So if you notice that door, it shuts right there. Shut, it's shut right there. So then what I'll do is I'll find the spot where the door is shut on this one. Oh, is that right there? Right there. So it's almost like a perfect match. Okay, so this point right here where my playhead is, I might push mark in and maybe push mark in. So these two are completely in sync. So now if I, let's do A1, A2. Let's quickly review the source window also. Rewind button, fast forward. How many frames are in a second? 30. If I want to go back a frame, I'd hit this one. If I want to go forward a frame, you can hit those two buttons. Your mark in, this tells the clip where you want it to start, basically where you want that shot to be starting. The play button, the mark out. If I had a spot marked on this clip where I wanted the shot to be marked out, like a definite end point basically, you can set a mark out and this would be the only part of that shot that would play, that would go into the sequence. And then mark clip, we'll talk about that in a little bit, and then clear both marks, we'll talk about that. So the source window has its own set of buttons. The record side has its own set of buttons. Rewind, fast forward, frame back one, frame forward one, mark in, play, mark out, and kind of the same ones. Here again, down on the timeline, you have some of the same buttons, mark in, mark out. Mark in down here on your timeline. We can either hit mark in here or we can hit it right here. They're the same, they coincide with one another. What I do down here happens up on our record window. Questions so far? Okay, we're going to do this edit quick. Since they just stand there when they get in, it's footage that I know that I don't need. I'm going to hit overwrite. If I were to hit splice in, this is a review from yesterday, splice in will actually save this little chunk of video. Okay, so if I hit splice in, I'm going to splice in this door, and the door I know isn't in the right spot, but I'm going to cut on the action. I'm going to splice this in. The door is going to shut. Okay, and then it cuts back to that 2 shot. The reason why it cut back to the 2 shot is because I hit splice in. Okay, let me do an overwrite here. Overwrite, what that will do is it's going to get rid of this extra little piece of footage. Overwrite. And that's the end of that sequence. There's nothing else. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring this door closing shot back because it's shutting all at the same moment. And this is an advanced move here, so I'm going to show you really quick. This is called trim mode. I wasn't going to get to this until Thursday, but we'll do it today. Trim mode. If you look right down here when I hit trim mode, it's going to highlight these 3 tracks. It's got the video, audio 1, and audio 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this footage back, and it's going to automatically recalibrate this shot with it. So if I click right here in the middle, I'm going to frame this back. And you can kind of see how this is going. The door is opening. So it's resynchronizing the shots. And then what we can do is we can do a preview on this. So you can see this one shutting on the wide shot, and you can see this one shutting on the tight shot. Okay. So it looks pretty good. Do you guys hear the difference in sound here?
Not bad.
Turn up the volume. You can definitely hear there's a definite sound difference. That's inside the room. There's little sound panels on the side, so if you ever do any audio recording in there with your voice, there's sound panels in there to absorb your voice, so it kind of deadens that area. We need a few more. Sound will bounce off of this wall, and we're getting some more panels in there just because it kind of bounces off. But when it hits this shot right here where the camera's outside the room, you're going to definitely hear a different sound difference. Okay, everybody hear that? It almost sounds like a fan running. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go Edit, Undo. There are 25 levels of undo on Avid. So if you make 25 mistakes, you can always do this. You can go up to Edit, Undo. Let me double check here something. Okay, that's what I wanted to have happen. All right, we are going to, I'm going to completely take that shot out. All right, I'm only going to do a video insert, not an audio insert. So to just do video, I don't want to touch the audio because the audio sounds fine the way it is. Listen. So I want to keep that sound. I'm just going to mess with the video. So I'm going to turn off my audio track 1 and turn off my audio track 2. I've got my mark in selected. This is where, actually, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. We'll do it that way. Just so we know it's perfect. Mark in. That's where the door is shut. The door is shut right there. Okay. So this shot right here, from the beginning to the end, is going to go right here. And we're going to hit overwrite. Because if you, this is kind of where it gets, you have to know what you want, where you want it, and if you want it on track 1, or if you want it on 1, 2, 3, or 4. So this can get a little messy if you don't know the difference between splice in and overwrite. So I'm going to do a splice in here, and I'm going to show you how messed up this can get. Splice in. It still keeps this little piece right here. We spliced it in. We just put in the video. Okay. Now that little piece is still there. It wasn't as messed up as I thought it was going to be. Let's do an overwrite this time. Okay, so this new shot is in of the low angle shot. We're going to do the exact same thing that we just did. We went up to trim mode, and we're going to bring this one back. So if I click right on this black line, there's a definite black line between the source window and the record window. And if you click down right on that, and we bring this down, you're going to see this door open. This door is going to open. But if you notice, there's no audio being taken with this. So the audio track is going to stay intact. Sounds pretty good. It's matching up. It's a pretty good edit for, we're not taking the sound off this low angle shot, we're taking it off of the inside of the room. But it's matching up pretty well. So to avoid those fluctuations in your audio, in your different takes, when you're doing different angles like this, try to take the sound from as few scenes as you possibly can, just to avoid that. To avoid this, basically. Control Z. Whoops. Turn on my audio. I want the audio to follow, overwrite. Okay, so you hear the difference? Hear that loud fan sound. Undo, 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 undo. Okay. Questions? Edit, redo. Let me fix that edit really quick. Here's another thing that you can do. We're going to I will show you how to lift out this low angle shot because this is the bad audio. I'm going to take that sound out. I'm going to hit video 1. Audio 1 and audio 2 are going to stay lit. If my cursor is on top of that audio, this is kind of a cool little trick. This saves you a lot of time. This little mark clip button, if you mark that, it becomes blue. There's a quick way and a really, really long way. And most of the time, students take the long way. I don't know why they do this, but here, I'll show you what students do. And hopefully, you guys won't do that. So we know that we want to take out this loud fan, low angle shot of sound, and we want to just keep going with this sound. So here's how they do it. What they'll do is they'll get as close to that part, and then they'll zoom in, and they'll put their cursor right there, and then they'll go mark in. That's where that shot starts. And then they'll zoom out, and they go all the way to the end, and they'll go mark out. All right, and then I make my audio 1 and a 2, and then you go lift, and then that shot's out, or the audio's out. Okay? Let me undo it, and here's the quick way of doing it. Make sure your cursor's in the middle of it, mark the clip, lift. So it takes about 15 seconds less time. All right, so we're all about being speedy here. Yes, Levi.
So at the end, how do you slowly fade to black?
I'll show you. To slowly fade to black. Let's first of all take this out the quick way. So I'll show you that again. If video 1 were selected and we hit mark clip, it would mark the whole entire thing. We want to keep that low angle shot in there though, so let's take off video 1. It's not going to be affected. We want to take out this shot, lift, it's gone. And to get rid of my mark in and out points, if you saw what I just did, see how it keeps that little part highlighted? That also drives kids nuts. They don't know how to get rid of the mark in and out points. The D and the F key, the 2 grades that you don't want to ever get. D and F, remember that. That gets rid of this little blue area. D, F, gets rid of your mark in and out. Okay? Because kids, when they're editing and they've got this section, this is like a previous edit, and that little blue bar won't go away. They're like, oh, how do you get rid of that? It's D and F. Or you can hit this. Let's go Control Z. You can hit clear both marks, which is right here. So this mark in and mark out, mark clip, think of it as kissing each other. It's right next to each other. If you wanted to mark this clip, and we hit this, this is another thing that happens. They don't understand this. We just want to mark inside of room, good take. And you're clicking on this, we're marking the clip, but it's highlighting the whole entire sequence. Anybody know why?
Just a whole entire clip.
Because track 3 and 4 is selected. It's thinking, oh, so you want to take the whole entire track 3 and 4 select too. So what you have to do is you have to shut 3 and 4 off, and then mark the clip. Oops, where are we at here? Mark the clip. Sometimes Avid is slow. Mark the clip. Come on, Avid. Here, let me take out DNF here really quick. Mark clip. It's not working. held up by something here. Shouldn't be doing that. Well, anyway, here, let me try it on a different section here. It's like stuck. Shouldn't be highlighted like that. Lift. Okay, there we go. That hasn't happened in a long time. That was really weird. All right, let me put this shot back in. Mark in, mark out, overwrite. There's that shot again. Okay, so as I was saying, to mark that clip really quick, mark the clip. Wow, this computer just needs to be rebooted, I think. Anyway. Well, typically that's usually what happens. It just marks the clip, and then you can lift it, you can get rid of it, whatever. And what you do up here and you do down here, they're the same. So we can take that low angle shot out, you can lift it, it's gone. Control Z will bring it back. Let's talk about adding some tracks here. If I right click anywhere down in our timeline, right click, we can add a new video track. Right click, add a new video track. Right click, add a new video track. Right click, add new video track. Right click. How many cameras did I film that wedding with?
7.
7. This is kind of like what my sequence looked like at home.
You have it edited on though?
I have Final Cut at home. It's a Mac program. I had also 14 audio tracks, so all 7 cameras had their own soundtrack. So I could pick and choose which audio soundtrack I wanted to grab the sound from. And then I also had the one from the sound system. Let me show you something really quick. Let's see, this low angle shot. This little red arrow right here. This is kind of a handy little tool. If I click and I drag this up, I'm going to go all the way up to track 7.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Wake up.
Oh yeah, I want to build a snowman.
Okay, we've got our actor and actress walking down
It's
here.
spring already, like spring in Minnesota.
Yeah, build a snowman.
And then it cuts to black.
Oh yeah, I want
black.
to build a snowman.
Snowman's a mess.
And then it comes back to the video. Does anybody know why it's going to black? Yes. Very good. Were you in here third hour? Nope. Wow. Very good. All right. So this video track I moved up. When we do features for like Tiger News or Listen Up, typically we'll have like 4 or 5 video tracks because we've got name supers coming in, we've got B-roll, we've got interview stuff. Sometimes down here we'll have music, we'll have sound effects. I'm working on a feature for Friday right now for the radio people. Right now I've got 6 video tracks going and 4 audio tracks, 6 audio tracks. Because they've got music, we've got sound effects, and we've got their nat sound and their speaking parts. So a lot of audio and a lot of video. The thing about this one right here, think of this as a little tiny television set. And if this little television set isn't on, you're not going to see anything.
It's spring already, like spring.
So I've shut it off, you can't see anything.
Build a snowman.
You have to have at least one television on. Well, at least in the Tauchi house you do. All right, so this one is on video track 1. Anything on video track 1, it's going to play it. And as soon as something is missing, it's going to go, it's not going to play anything.
Build a snowman.
Black,
Oh yeah, I want to build a snowman.
Snowman's a mess.
and then it comes back. When we do features for the show, what we have to do, no matter how many tracks that our producers have put in or our editors have put in, you always have to have that top layer selected right here, which is right here. So if we had 7 tracks of video, so the same at home, you have to have that top TV selected. And so what's going to happen is it's going to play this track, and it's going to jump up to this one.
Like spring in Minnesota.
Yeah, build a snowman.
Oh yeah, I want to build a snowman.
Snowman's a mess.
Okay, let me show you one other thing. Any questions on that little move?
What if you have them overlapping, like you have it over to
If
the
we have
left?
2 videos on top of each other. Well, good question.
Oh,
We'll put the garbage cans on top of this one. This is called a superimposed shot, and then I'll do your dissolve too, like I promised you. All right, so this is the beginning of that clip. We talked about this yesterday. When you're trying to find the beginning of that clip, you find that edit point, that little black line right there. And I'm just using the arrows on the keyboard to find that little spot. You find that L, that's the beginning of this clip right here. If I go to the end of that clip, we're going to have a backwards L right here. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is right there. This is the end of this shot right here. So when you're trying to make those finite edits, you have to find that ending shot, that little L, and you also have to find that beginning. There it is. You have to find that shot. Because sometimes what will happen is you're editing along, you have mark in and mark out, and then you do, let me select all of these. Do a little splice. Okay, watch this and see if there's anything you notice about this sequence.
There was a little, just a glimpse of black.
Let's play it one more time. Some people didn't see it because they were sleeping. What was it?
You saw the trash can.
It's a subliminal message to recycle and throw your garbage away. So if I zoom into that little spot, what that is it's one frame of the garbage cans. One frame. One frame. How many frames are in a second?
30.
So if you can watch that and you can point that, if you can see that, you have really good vision. Watch. Some people can't see those. Like there's some kids are like, play it again, I cannot see that. And
What? Seriously?
yeah, seriously, there's kids that cannot see one frame because I don't know if they have like a stigmatism or something like that. But some kids cannot see a single frame of video. So if you can see that, nice job. Good job with your eyes. Eat more carrots. Oh yeah, yes. So I'm gonna take that out. I took that edit out. Now it's back to normal. So it's very, very important when you're setting up an edit to get right on that line. Make sure that you can see that little L right there. If I go one frame to the left this way, what am I going to see over here? The backwards L, because that's the end of this shot. Okay? All right, somebody asked about layering shots. I'm going to put a mark in and mark out. The reason why I have a big blue block there is because everything is selected. So I'm going to deselect. I'm going to keep video 2 on. This is an advanced question here, so hats off to the person who asked it. All right, so we're going to go to mark in, and we're going to hit overwrite. The reason why it only went on video track 2 is because the only thing that was selected over here was video track 2. If I want it on video track 3, these are called handles. And if I want it on video track 3, basically what I have to do is click on that and point it to video track 3. Put a mark in, put a mark out, and let's put something else in there. Let's put, what's her name?
Jordan.
Jordan. Let's put Jordan in our movie. Overwrite. Low angle shot. Okay, so this is called superimposing because you're taking 3 shots and putting them on top of one another. All right, I don't want to confuse you guys, but man, this is like a really, really advanced question. You sure you want to know how to do this?
No.
We're advanced in visual stuff.
Okay, all right. So we're going to go up to our project window. This is where a lot of settings are located. There's this little purple box. You can do like liquid morphs and 3D effects and like make like the world like go around up here. We're going to go up to superimpose and we're going to drag this little block down on top of Jordan and let go. And so it adds this little box with the green dot. You can see Jordan as a ghost back there.
Oh, it's like one of those like where there's 2 shots on top of each
Yes.
other. And
So,
yep.
My mind is hurting right now, man.
Can you blend 3 together?
we can blend all 3 of them together. So to kind of fine tune this shot, I'm going to go to superimpose again. I'm going to put it on this one also. You don't have to put a superimpose on this bottom one because that's the bottom layer. Okay? So now we have 3 shots on top of one another. We have the hallway shot, we've got walking in, and we've got the garbage cans.
That hurts my eyes.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little funky.
It's like go back easily.
We can also go into,
Excuse the interruption for one quick announcement. I need to see Kevin Robertson,
Oh!
Caitlin Gordon, Zach Spikers, Jack Paulson.
just take my
They're after
stuff.
school or tomorrow sometime. And then there'll be a
Before
lacrosse
school
boys
sometime.
lacrosse meeting after
Tomorrow?
school,
Is that what you said?
Tomorrow.
After school or tomorrow.
Okay. I'll see you.
so that's the danger. Everybody starts talking.
Unless you want me, can I go now?
I don't care, whatever. Okay.
I care, don't leave, Kevin.
When I go into tools and I go up to here, this is kind of an important step. It's an advanced step. I don't want to confuse you, but you guys asked.
Can we continue tomorrow?
You are?
No. I want to show you how to do this. What track over here is selected? Track 3. With track 3 selected, we're only going to select this angle. We're going to go up to Tools, go up to Effect Editor. And now with this foreground level, we can fade things in to be brighter or not so bright. It's kind of like your opacity in Photoshop.
What would you do that in? Like, would you do that in any?
If you want to do like a special effect in a movie, like a ghostly figure or just kind of like an effect, you could do that. What? Yeah, right. All right, we'll stop there for today.